So let's talk about a quiet crisis that's hitting a lot of high earners. You did everything right, You got the degree, you climbed the ladder, you landed the six-figure job, but when you look at your net worth, it's just stuck. You're caught on a treadmill that's designed to keep you running no matter how fast you go or how much you make.
We call that the salary trap. And what's really fascinating is when you dig into three of the biggest books on wealth out there, The Psychology of Money, The Millionaire Fastlane, and Rich Dad Poor Dad, they all point a finger at the exact same problem. This idea of a linear income, where you're always trading your hours for dollars. It's a fundamentally broken model for building real wealth.
Exactly. And the reason the trap is so darn effective is because people try to escape using the advice from just one of these books. But here's the thing. While each playbook is brilliant in its own way, on its own, it's incomplete. It's like having one piece of a three-piece puzzle. It just doesn't work.
Okay, let's put that to the test then. So Jordan, what happens if our high earner just reads Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money and follows it to the letter?
They become a fantastic saver. I mean, truly brilliant. They master their own behavior. They build this financial fortress. They can't be wiped out, and that's absolutely critical. But there's a huge catch. They're stuck in what MJ DeMarco calls the slow lane. Sure, they'll be wealthy, but not until they're 65. The mindset is locked in, but there's just no engine to make it go faster.
Right, so they have a great defense, but no offense. So what if we add the engine? Our brilliant saver now reads The Millionaire Fastlane and goes out and builds a business. Okay, now things get really interesting because their income just explodes. But, and this is a big but, without that final piece from Kiyosaki, their new business just becomes another job, a much more stressful, high-paying job for sure. All that new income just fuels a bigger lifestyle. It doesn't buy freedom. They basically just traded the salary trap for a fancier, gold-plated cage.
See, to really truly break free, you have to stop looking at these as separate philosophies. You need a unified solution. We call it the three-layer wealth stack. It's all about integrating the mindset, the method, and the execution from all three of these sources into one single, powerful system. It all starts with layer one, which comes straight from Housel. This is the mindset of protection. Your number one goal is not to get rich, it's to survive. It's to build a financial foundation so solid that nothing can knock you out of the game. Because staying in the game long enough to win is everything.
Okay, so the foundation is secure. You can't lose. What's the next play?
With that foundation in place, you move to layer two, the method of acceleration. This is pure DeMarco. You build a scalable business system. And here's the key phrase, a system that's designed from day one to disconnect your income from your time. You have to shift from being a consumer to being a producer.
And that brings us to the final crucial layer, the execution of conversion. This is the heart of Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You systematically take the profits from your business system and you convert them into real cash-flowing assets. We're talking about things that put money into your bank account every single month, whether you show up to work or not. This is where wealth actually becomes real and permanent.
Got it. So it's not a checklist, it's a loop. Layer one, protect your foundation so you can afford to take smart risks. Layer two, accelerate your income with a system that isn't you. And layer three, convert that system's profit into assets that pay you. Protect, accelerate, convert. It's a flywheel. That's it, exactly. And when you put these three layers together and run them like a continuous loop, you get what we call the automated asset accelerator. This is the integrated playbook that so many high earners have been searching for.
And think of the automated asset accelerator less like a one-time project and more like a new operating system for your financial life. You protect by automating your savings. That stability gives you the base to accelerate by building your system. Then you convert that system's profits into cash flow, which, of course, makes your foundation even stronger. It just keeps feeding itself. All right, this all sounds fantastic, but theory only gets you so far. Let's make it real. Walk us through how this actually works for someone. Let's take Alex, a senior software engineer who's deep in the salary trap.
Absolutely. So Alex is making great money, right? $250,000 a year. But after the mortgage, the taxes, the car payments, the lifestyle, there's really not much left at the end of the month. Classic cash rich but asset poor. So Alex decides to install the system. First move, step one, protect. Before he does anything else, he goes into his bank account and automates a transfer of 20% of his take-home pay into a totally separate stay-in-the-game fund. This is his defense. It's non-negotiable.
Now for the game changer. Step 2, accelerate.
Instead of grinding away for a tiny promotion at his day job, Alex carves out just 5 focused hours a week. He uses that time to build a small software tool that solves a nagging problem for other engineers. A year later, that little system is kicking off $5,000 a month in profit, completely disconnected from his time. And here comes the magic. Step 3. Convert. Now, what does he do with that extra $5,000 a month? He does not go out and get a fancier car. Instead, he uses it to buy a cash-flowing rental property. That property now adds another $1,200 of passive income to his bottom line. He turns system profits into a true asset. That is the automated asset accelerator at work.
That is a beautiful sequence. But you and I know that's not what most people do. Where does this fall apart for them? What's the trapdoor they fall through?
The trapdoor is so subtle, but so deadly. It's confusing acceleration with freedom. Instead of building a scalable system, they build themselves a higher-paying job. Think high-end consulting or freelancing. They end up on a much faster hamster wheel. Yeah, the income is higher, but it is still 100% tied to their time. If they stop working, the money stops cold. That is not a Fastlane business. It's just a job wearing a disguise. Okay, so let's make this incredibly practical for everyone listening. Here's your workflow for this week. Just 3 simple actions. 1. Trigger your defense. Literally, right now. Log into your bank and automate a savings transfer. 2. Schedule your offense. Open your calendar and block out 5 hours. Call it CEO time to work on your system, not in your job. 3. Scan for cash flow. Use one of those hours to do a deep dive on one asset class. Just one. You know, when you really boil this all down, it's not about the tactics, is it? It's a fundamental identity shift. You have to stop being the highest paid, most overworked employee in your own life and finally start acting like the owner. You have to become the CFO of You Incorporated. Goodness said it better. So, we'll leave you with just one question to think about this week. Take a hard look at where your time and money are going, and be honest with yourself. Is your current path building you a bigger, more comfortable cage, or are you actually building an exit,